What was your I don't get paid enough for this shut moment? I had to stand there while some lady told me I was incompetent for not being able to make her steak sandwich medium rare. I was working at Subway. Fellow sandwich artist here. Subway sometimes makes me want to smash my face into a wall. I once had a girl come in and this was our conversation. Me, hi, welcome to Subway. What can I get for you? A sandwich. Me, what kind of sandwich? Ham. Me, okay, on what? Bread. Me, what kind of bread? The usual kind. The worst part is she was dead serious the entire time. Reminds me of the time someone walked into the Chick-fil-A I worked at and asked for the chicken meal. I worked at an independent coffee house about 15 years ago. Had a lady come in and order a Starbucks. I wasn't sure exactly how to get her set up with an entire store, but I did my best. Picking up an intoxicated person, and he slapped me in the side of the head with his colostomy bag. I turned around for like 2 seconds to talk to my partner. Her eyes got big, and it suddenly felt like I got hit with a water balloon. A warm, gooey, stinky, repulsive, shut-filled water balloon. You win. Well, shut. I was thinking that my time spent searching a hoarder's house for an hour before finding him dead for multiple days under a pile of garbage was bad. So glad I don't work as a paramedic anymore. Was a manager at a McDonald's and I got screamed at by our district supervisor mid-shift for putting too many ketchup packets on a bag through the drive-thru. Duck that. Edit. Lots of people saying they'd walk right out. I had a little more dramatic an exit. The end of my 2 weeks notice landed on a day that the district supervisor came through the drive-thru on a weekly visit. He pulled up, ordered his food, and I got it ready. But when he came to the window it wasn't his bag of food. I passed out the window to him. I gave him a bag full of nothing but ketchup packets. He came in asking what the duck, fuming and stomping around all angry, and I just said I'm out to here and walked out. Our local McDonald's are all owned by the same family and they instituted what I can only describe as a sauce Nazi policy. Strict limits on how much can be passed out, etc. My go-to at McDonald's was a plain McChicken with sweet and sour sauce. Did I mention that they are also charging $1.49 for them plus the 30 cents for sauce? I'm definitely not happy with the new rules. I pretty much avoid McDonald's at this point anyways, but duck all if people do not absolutely lose their shut over some damned barbecue sauce. I do not envy those workers. When a thick stream of sweat drained out of this girl's cell phone case, I had to explain to her that her phone had water damage and that she shouldn't work out with her phone in her bra, all the while trying to be professional and not gag while cleaning the mess. I sold phones at Sprint. That's worse than the guy who threw his brand new iPhone 6 at me in an antique store because it wouldn't turn on. Claimed that the phone should last forever and refused to charge it. Chucked the phone at me and bolted. The phone hit me straight in the face. Definitely the most painful customer that I've dealt with so far. I literally cannot understand how some people can be so stupid. Like, how did you manage to mature all the way to adulthood without dying? I worked customer service for Verizon. I had many people call me and ask for me to beam a full charge into their batteries. Me and 3 others got the shut kicked out of us in a small horse stall by 5 emus we were trying to deworm. Not worth $8 an hour. Come on, man. No creature with a face like this could possibly hurt anyone. Have you heard of the Great Emu War? That's right, these duckers won a war against the organized Australian military. Accidentally poking myself with a needle that was just used on an HIV positive person. Edit. I did get put on post-exposure prophylaxis immediately after. Please tell me you tested negative. A month later I got a rapid HIV test done. Negative. I have to check again soon. Then again at the 6-month mark. But I should be good. A few days after I got stuck, his viral loads came back and they were super low, thank God. Used to work retail security, got threatened by a junkie with a dirty needle over a friend's box set. That was my last day. To be fair, I know some non-junkies who would threaten you over a friend's box set. I used to work at a shoe store. We always got extremely ghetto people in there to buy Jordans. We were having a 40% off sale one time. One particularly ghetto lady told her husband, this pair is 40 off. You're buying one. That means 80% off. I explained to her multiple times it meant it was 40% of the total, but she didn't get it and kept saying 40 plus 40 is 80. Eventually I said screw it and just told her she might as well buy 3 pairs because that's 120% off and we'd be paying her for the shoes. Then walked off as the gears turned in her head trying to comprehend what I said. That, plus multiple fights over Jordans. I mean, her argument made perfect sense. Just like if you had 10 million Jordans and 8 million people, you could just give 1 million Jordans to each person and you'd have 2 million left over. It works out, you know, since 10 minus 8 equals 2. While working at an adult video store, I discovered a bucket of dehydrated piss in the broom closet. For a moment, I tried to summon a normal reaction of disgust or anger, but I felt nothing but indifference. The piss bucket wasn't what broke my spirit, it was what made me realize I had no more spirit to break. Right now, I'm on hour 12 of what is shaping up to be a 16 to 18 hour day, and I'm fixing the mistakes of someone who gets paid at minimum 40k more than me. Are you an accountant by any chance? Nope, I'm just a drafter. Literally getting yelled at for not staying late. I don't get paid to stay late. My bosses are a married couple and think it's okay to lose their shit at me. If I didn't really need money right now, I'd quit. Are you hourly or salary? You really should report them for wage theft if you're hourly. I'm hourly. I really need this job. I'm afraid to report. When an 8-year-old lied to his mother and had her call the school to complain and then to my face the next day said I'm going to get you fired all because he got tagged in the game we were playing. Thank you, Matthew. When the lady at the table I was serving complained because the ice in her glass of ice water had melted and the water was too watered down for her liking. The water was too watered down for her liking. This almost sounds like some sort of Zen riddle. A really retarded one. When I had to stop someone from ducking their cat. Edit. I work with those who have physical and mental disabilities. I was giving the client some time alone in their room when I heard a screeching sound. I leapt up and opened the door and found they had their pants down, Venus erect, and a very pissed off cat running out the door. They no longer own that cat. You a dentist too? Pussy is pussy. If you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing, right? Had a guy come in with a raging hard on that wouldn't go away. Priapism for those that enjoy science. I had to hold this guy's throbbing boner while a resident stabbed it with needles trying to drain it and inject medications to make it go down. After 8 stabs, no luck. Dude went to surgery and was told he will never have an erection again. I was the last person to hold his functional wiener. PSA, if you've had a 4-hour-long stiffy, get to the ER in a jiffy. PSA, if you've had a 4-hour-long stiffy, get to the ER in a jiffy. The Viagra commercials always tell people that if they have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours to see a doctor. When does it become a cause for alarm? At 3 hours will the ER tell you to go home and wait an hour. If you go to the ER at hour 3, you tell them it's been ducking 4 hours. Worked retail, worked night fill as assistant manager. Assistant day manager thought he was God's gift to women. During stocktake, when both night and day staff are in store, walked in on said manager trying to force himself on a night fill staff member. Pulled him off her, got punched in the face and chest multiple times, filed a police report. Was then written up for not escalating the incident to upper management instead of reporting the rapist prick to the police. Flipped them the bird and told them to duck off. Was really tempted to deck the dude on the way out, but instead went and filed a second police report for assault on myself and got his ass fired by regional management who somehow knew nothing about this whole thing until the police called them. Gave up on retail at that point and went back to university. Cable guy here. You know that really rundown trailer park with hundreds of cats running around unchecked outside? The one that's full of rust bucket trucks with Confederate flags painted on the tailgate. When the wind blows you are overwhelmed by the scent of cat urine. I go into those trailers and dig through piles of garbage, diapers, animal and human shit all because my Fox News pixelated once during the debate, only to find the customer had spliced in their own line because they wanted TV in the rest of the trailer. I then have to crawl under the trailer and run a new line to replace the one they ducked up, all the while being told how I'm a piece of shit because I'm following company policy that you pay for every room you have TV in. Also here's 2 dead cats and a black widow colony that I carefully avoid until I'm backing out because you don't have room to turn around under a trailer and my boot goes into the web. I do all of this just so they can have cable for the 3 months until they get disconnected for not paying the bill and switch to Dish. It was a long day,